The Trinidad government accepts some blame for the Sandals pulling its plug on its Tobago resort. And in sport, Guyana Jaguars remain top of the regional 4-day championship standings after a tough match against Leeward Islands Hurricanes. I'm Ricardo Roberts, and this is Caribbean in 10 for Friday, January 18, 2019. I'll be back with the details after the break.
10 women. 5 men. But who will be the RJR Gleaner Sports Foundation National Sportsman and Sportswoman of the Year for 2018? That's the 58th annual RJR Gleaner Group Sports Foundation National Sportsman and Sportswoman of the Year Awards, live from the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel on Friday, January 18.
This is not any regular festival where you just come to hear music. This is a diverse festival, the one and only of its kind, where we have music on display, we have our food, but we have so much of our culture. And right now, we also have some arts and crafts on display, and we're here with the Dominica Arts and Crafts Producers Association, DACPA, naturally Dominican. Good night, tell us your name and tell us what you have on display for people to purchase.
Trinidad and Tobago's Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley says his government will accept some of the blame for Sandals Resorts International pulling out of a multi-million-dollar project in Tobago. Sandals announced on Tuesday that constant and ongoing negative publicity was the reason for pulling the plug on the project. At what he called a conversation with the media yesterday, Rowley said the government could have done more. CNC3's Judy Kanhai reports.
Sponsoring and driving this project. So if it has not come to fruition, we have to take some responsibility because we didn't set out to fail.
Many have questioned whether the negative publicity is the real reason behind Sandals pulling out from Tobago when there are other issues the resort faces in other islands.
Sandals has its roots and its operations in other territories. They have PR issues there, they have brand protection issues there, and at their board level, they can't walk away from that. But the one place where they had nothing, where they hadn't picked a leaf, they hadn't touched a grain of sun, and they were getting bad press, that is the place they can walk away from. And that place was Tobago.
So if his government had to do this again, what will it do differently to avoid losing such a project?
If I had to do this over again, I certainly will spend more time trying to ensure that the cynics don't control the airway.
Dr. Rowley admits that the negative publicity could have been avoided.
If the government had done enough, there wouldn't be anybody saying that there's a negative on this project.
On Tuesday, Sandals' CEO said the resort is not ruling out Tobago in the future. But Dr. Rowley says given the manner in which things ended, it is difficult to say whether Sandals will give Tobago a second chance.
Meantime, opposition leader Kamala Persad-Bissessar has told the Prime Minister to stop the blaming and start working. She also said there is still no clarity on why Sandals really left and what is the next step. Antigua and Barbuda's Prime Minister Gaston Brown has presented a $1.2 billion EC dollar budget to Parliament outlining new taxes, and he has warned tax dodgers that his administration that it would not be business as usual. Brown said his administration would be moving to acquire all funds owed to the state despite the island's consistent economic growth over the past 4 years. He indicated that the taxes on sugary beverages would be introduced this year, as he expressed concern that too many people were being affected by non-communicable diseases.
Importantly, Mr. Speaker, this will be a revenue-neutral tax. So in other words, the taxes we collect from the sugary beverages will be utilized to reduce the prices of healthier foods. That is the responsible thing to do because we care.
Guyana's opposition leader Barak Jagdeo is alleging that the Guyana Elections Commission, GECOM, is being influenced by the government not to start preparing for a general election. The opposition is pushing for a general election by March, following government's losing a no-confidence vote last month. The David Granger administration is challenging the outcome of the motion that was passed 33-32 in the National Assembly when then government backbencher Chantaras Prasad voted with the opposition. Now, during a press briefing yesterday, Jagdeo said GECOM could be involved in a delaying tactic as the commission is yet to issue a formal statement about its preparedness for an early general election. Now, representatives of the president and opposition leader are scheduled to meet with GECOM to get information on its readiness, but the chairman remains on medical leave. Jagdeo says he believes the government is heavily influencing GECOM not to start the preparations for elections in 90 days as required by the Constitution. And he says he has notified that the international community to that possibility. And stay with us, your Midday Sport is next. Regional 4-day championship leaders Guyana Jaguars suffered a rare batting failure, but their bowlers quickly restored parity as they still managed to share honours on the opening day of their 5th round match against Leeward Islands Hurricanes. Now opting to bat first at the National Stadium yesterday, Jaguars collapsed for 196 in their first innings, with veteran Chris Barnwell top scoring with 58 and captain Leon Johnson getting 44. West Indies all-rounder Kemo Paul struck a caliver at 32 down the order. They were 148 for 3 at one stage but lost their last 7 wickets for 48 runs, with off-spinner Rakeem Cornwall snatching 4 for 70 and leg spinner Damian Jacobs finishing with 3 for 15 from 11 overs. Jaguars had hit back by the close, reducing Hurricanes to 57 for 3, still 139 runs adrift heading into day 2 at the National Stadium. Meanwhile, veteran opener Devon Smith continued his domination at first-class level, stroking his 3600 as Windward Islands Volcanoes kept Jamaica Scorpions under pressure. The 37-year-old hit a superb 124, which steered the host to 236 for 6 or 263 for 6 in their first innings at the Grenada National Stadium. Kaveem Hodge extended his good form with 56, while wicketkeeper Dennis Smith ended the day unbeaten on 36. Left-arm spinner Dennis Bulai led the attack in the absence of veteran Nikita Miller, claiming 5 for 94. And for the first time in the Caribbean Premier League's 6-year history, its total economic impact has exceeded $100 million, a 34% increase over the previous 2017 season. A report commissioned by CPL and compiled by researchers SMG Insight showed figures for the 2018 season of $127,355,010, representing all 7 countries in which matches were played. Now, according to report, the tournament was responsible for employment for 101,942 people across the 7 host nations. That's Caribbean at 10. Join us again at 6:30 for Caribbean Newsline. Good afternoon.